The world of photography and filmmaking never slows down, and Sony has consistently been at the forefront of this evolution. For years, the company's A7 series has shaped the full-frame mirrorless camera landscape, offering tools that appeal to professionals, enthusiasts, and hybrid creators who demand excellence in both stills and video. Now, in 2025, we are on the verge of another significant release, the Sony A7V. Thanks to a series of convincing leaks and even official registration codes, it's safe to say this is no longer speculation. The Sony A7V is real, and production has already begun. But as with any major camera launch, questions remain. What improvements can we realistically expect? Which rumored features are solid, and which are still uncertain? Most importantly, is the A7V shaping up to be a worthy investment, or will it be another expensive upgrade that only marginally improves on its predecessor? In this video, we'll explore everything we know so far, from price and design to sensor options, autofocus performance, and video capabilities. To understand the excitement around the Sony A7V, we need to look at the history of the A7 line. Sony essentially rewrote the mirrorless rulebook when it introduced the A7 III in 2018. Priced at $1,999, that camera was a revelation, offering full-frame performance at a price point that undercut much of the competition. For many photographers, the A7 III became the standard bearer, a true do-everything camera that raised expectations for what mirrorless could be. Fast forward to 2021, and Sony released the A7 IV. With a price jump to $2,499, it delivered noticeable improvements in resolution, autofocus, and video features. While some fans grumbled about the cost increase, most agreed that the A7 IV represented an important evolution. It solidified Sony's reputation for building hybrid cameras that balance photography and videography. Now, in 2025, the stage is set for the Sony A7V. Expectations are high, but so are concerns, especially as prices continue to climb. One of the first confirmed details about the Sony A7V comes from a registered model code, WW084220, filed in May 2025. This registration indicates that production is happening in Wuxi, China, which all but confirms that the A7V is moving from rumor to reality. But with confirmation comes another challenge: the price tag. Reports suggest the Sony A7V will launch at around $2,799 for the body-only version in the US. Some sources even suggest it could hit $2,999 depending on final specifications and market conditions. That's a noticeable jump from the A7 IV's launch price of $2,499. And pricing won't be uniform worldwide. In the United States, new tax policies may drive costs higher than before. Meanwhile, in Asia, particularly in countries like India, additional customs charges and VAT will make the A7V even more expensive. For many photographers and filmmakers, these financial hurdles will factor heavily into the decision to upgrade. This raises an important question. Is Sony simply raising prices because it can, or does the A7V truly deliver enough new technology to justify the added expense? Perhaps the most intriguing rumor surrounding the Sony A7V is its sensor. Unlike previous generations, where leaks provided clearer answers, this time there are two competing possibilities. The first suggests the A7V could feature a 44-megapixel BSI CMOS sensor. Such a sensor would appeal to photographers who demand higher resolution, improved detail, and flexibility for cropping or large-format printing. It would also position the A7V as a direct competitor to premium cameras like the Leica Q3 or even Sony's own RX1R Mark III. The second possibility points to a 33-megapixel stacked CMOS sensor. While this option offers lower resolution, it would provide significant advantages in speed, processing, and low-light performance. Stacked sensors excel at fast readout times, which means less rolling shutter and superior handling of fast-moving subjects. For hybrid shooters who prioritize video and action photography, this could be the more compelling choice. So, which will it be? At this stage, no one can say for certain. Both make sense, but the final decision may depend on how Sony wants to position the A7V. If it leans toward competing with high-resolution stills cameras, the 44MP option feels logical. If Sony wants to double down on speed and video performance, the 33MP stacked sensor could be the smarter move. One area where Sony rarely disappoints is autofocus, and the A7V is expected to push things even further. Rumors suggest it will use the Beyond's XR image processor, already proven in powerhouse models like the Sony A1 and FX3. Pair that with an advanced AI-based real-time tracking system, and we could be looking at one of the most intelligent autofocus systems on the market. This technology promises advanced subject recognition, whether you're tracking faces, eyes, animals, or even vehicles in motion. The AI-driven autofocus is said to handle tricky conditions, from backlit portraits to fast-moving sports. Of course, it's not all guaranteed perfection. AI autofocus systems sometimes struggle in extremely low-light environments or in scenes with highly complex movement. The hope is that Sony has refined these weaknesses for the A7V, delivering a tool that professionals can rely on in virtually any situation. If the A7 IV set the stage for hybrid shooting, the A7 may take it to another level. Early reports suggest the new camera will support 4K 16-bit RAW output, along with S-Log3 and S-Cinetone picture profiles. This combination makes the A7V an appealing option for content creators, YouTubers, and independent filmmakers looking for high dynamic range, cinematic tones, and extensive flexibility in post-production. One potential concern, however, is resolution. In 2025, many mid-tier cameras already offer 6K recording or full-frame 4K at 60 FPS. If the A7V does not include these features, some videographers may feel underwhelmed. Still, the addition of 8-stop 5-axis in-body stabilization could be a game-changer. This would allow smooth handheld shots even in demanding conditions, potentially reducing the need for gimbals or tripods. The inclusion of dual card slots CFexpress Type A and SD ensures that hybrid shooters can handle high bitrate video files while maintaining a reliable backup workflow. For professionals, this is non-negotiable. The Sony A7V represents more than just another camera release. It's the continuation of a legacy that has defined the mirrorless industry for nearly a decade. With confirmed production, a rising price tag, and a mix of exciting but uncertain specs, it's a camera that invites both anticipation and skepticism. Whether it delivers on its promise will depend heavily on Sony's final decisions about its sensor, video capabilities, and autofocus refinements. One thing is certain, the A7V will be one of the most closely watched releases of 2025. So the question remains, will the Sony A7V become your next upgrade, or will price hikes, sensor uncertainty, and incremental design changes keep you waiting? Only time and Sony's official announcement will provide the full picture. Until then, the conversation is only just beginning.